Hey there, Brad Lee, back online after a bit of a hiatus. Not that I was offline, but didn't record anything for a bit. Low energy, busy, all that. Again, I don't really have not in the mode for. It's been a mundane week, so my esoteric energy is once again drained. So I'm dipping back into my non-esoteric reserve, which consists of reviews of things, which people apparently like, based on other popular YouTube channels. Anyway, not that I really have aspirations of being popular, but whatever. Just the preamble. So this should be short, though it could go 20 minutes if I start going on about the director. So, Avatar. I thought, James Cameron project. Everybody's probably seen it, so this is in a way. It's not like anybody's going to be wondering, should I see Avatar? I better see what Bradley thinks. But anyway, it's I have a few thoughts about it, so it is worth making a video blog post anyway. I was kind of hesitant on seeing it. It didn't seem to be my cup of tea. Big super special effects movie, blah blah blah. On the other hand, I did go to see James Cameron's Titanic, which again, not really my cup of tea in the whole mode, but I enjoyed that as well. James Cameron is pretty much one of the top directors in my opinion. He's really good. He's an excellent storyteller, actually. That's the thing, more than just being a director. It's like, when I see a movie, I can separate things. Like, I notice good direction, but I also notice good dialogue, like all the different storytelling elements, because I've, worked on those things myself, mostly for comics, actually, comic books. But it's all the same thing, the storyboards they use for movies are basically just, they are comics, essentially. You have to learn how to control the flow of shots, scene to scene, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, though, Avatar, I don't know. I just thought, maybe this is going to be his, just a big fancy tech thing and not that good. But eventually, I actually kind of was dragged to it by a friend who really wanted us all to see it, to the point where he actually paid for my ticket because I was low on money at the time. And it actually turned out to be quite excellent. Again, it really proved the old thing that it comes down to the execution. I mean, it is true it had an absolutely standard plot. I think people online were comparing it to Fern Gully because it was the exact same plot, and I'm sure it was. I mean, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but it was absolutely, by the numbers as far as the plot goes. But as with everything, it really doesn't matter. I mean, there are no new ideas, in a sense. They're very rare anyway. Most 99% of ideas are just the same thing. It just comes down to the execution. The 3D actually was great. It worked, though it's interesting. It works differently for different people. It's literally like person A, it works great. Person B, it works okay. Person C, it doesn't work at all. I have a friend who doesn't have, he's got kind of a lazy eye, so his synchronization is not so great, and it apparently he didn't even see it. It didn't exist for him. Other people, it worked kind of okay. For me, it worked really good. It was, I mean, it literally, it was cool. I mean, it was neat. I enjoyed it. It's like it made, a lot of it was in, the 3D was just in regular scenes, like, inside a med bay or something. But that's what again, James Cameron, excellent execution, right? Other people would have made it all about, look, 3D, look, blood flying in your face, it's all 3D. But no, what he did is he used it to give you a real sense of immersion, like just these regular scenes inside a med bay or something. Well, the movie accomplished what it wanted to, actually. Again, I was expecting this big CG fest and I was going to be totally detached from it. But I got right into it. Like, I forgot that it was a movie and just, I'm watching a different world. Like, it was quite excellent in that regard. And the 3D was great. It just gave you, like I say, it gave you a greater sense of immersion. He used it also in a lot of the jungle world scenes. Not every single one, but it was just an added layer of icing. And the glasses were fine. They weren't these cheap little cardboard glasses. They were these, fairly substantial, almost like those cheap army, glasses the army gives you that are called, what are they? Version protectors or whatever, because you won't get laid when you wear them because they're so ugly. But the physical form factor was good, and all that. So I didn't really notice them. They went on fine right in front of my regular glasses. What else? Well, it was nice seeing Sigourney Weaver because she's a great actress and has great charisma. It's always nice seeing her. Fond of her from the Alien movies, obviously, another Cameron thing. He does like to reuse actors. Let's see. I could definitely see that there was sequel potential in it because, like the world was fairly well developed and fairly interesting. Actually, I mean, again, not super original. I mean, all of those elements have been done. Like Alan Dean Foster's Jungle World was a lot. I can't remember the title of the book, but it was a lot like that. I mean, there's always this cool idea of the world that is totally nature, like Amazon jungle times 100. That's a concept that's come up many times in different types of fiction, and it's because it's a cool idea. It's like nature maximus, and they really only scratched the surface of what was going on with the world. So you could definitely see a potential for sequels. And apparently there's going to be like 2 of them. So cool. I mean, again, if it's done by James Cameron and they still have more really excellent 3D, it should be a real feast. Let's see. What else? So, yeah. Characters weren't particularly memorable. Dialogue, there was no really great... but frankly, it really was done almost... It was almost more like an animated picture where, you know what I mean? Like, where it isn't about the actors. It isn't about the, having a breakout star or... it isn't like Pirates of the Caribbean where you love Johnny Depp and, his performance just makes the whole movie. It was nothing like that. The performances by different people didn't stick out. It was about the world. It was about the graphics. It was about the 3D. It was just like having, a cinematic icing poured down your throat by a fire hose, with James Cameron holding the tube. And for that, it just completely succeeded. It was basically a couple hours where you could just go, wow, and watch this amazing stuff go on. And without getting into the details, that's really all I can say. Oh, and it was an achievement, again, like, I was prepared to totally, dismiss the whole, again, just not get into it or whatever, avatars, blah, blah, blah. Excellent science fiction concept, but I expected it to be done in a very stupid way. I mean, I shouldn't have doubted James Cameron, but again, that was an amazing sign of its success in that after being exposed to it, again, I had suspension of disbelief. It was like, wow, this is like, what if this actually happened? It would freak me out when you're seeing this gigantic, blue guy in a tube, and it feels real. It's like it's what happens if you'd actually gone into a lab and you saw that. You'd just be like, what the hell is that? So that's basically it. It's standard components, but handled by a master, and you add on that layer of new technology and just, gorgeous graphics, and you get James Cameron's latest cash cow blockbuster, I must say, he must certainly have pull in Hollywood to the point where he can, it's like, I'll call up anybody I want, and they'll basically get right back to me, because I'm James Cameron, But he's earned that, he's totally 100% earned that. All right, well, this was a short one. I guess I got my got my thoughts out. If I have a thought for another one of these, I might do that tonight. I've got a lot of larger ones, but again, that's always, you know what I mean? You want to have a lot of energy and time to get your ducks in a row before I start recording a great big hour-long thing. And it'll be nice to have a guest sometime. I can have a guest just because all I have to do is Google voice them in, and voila, guest. All right, so hope everybody's enjoying the long weekend, or everybody will enjoy the long weekend. Bradley out.